Hey everyone, my name is Hayden. Today I'll be presenting a study titled A Focused Theory of Normative Conduct, Recycling the Concept of Norms to Reduce Littering in Public Spaces, conducted by Robert Cialdini, Raymond Reno, and Carl Kalgren in 1990. This study is a strong example of applied social psychology because it uses social psychology theory to address a real-world social problem: littering in public spaces. The main social problem addressed in the study is littering, which negatively impacts public environments and is difficult to control through rules or punishment alone. The researchers were interested in understanding how social norms influence people's behavior in everyday situations. Rather than focusing on laws or signage, they examined whether making norms more noticeable would change behavior. This study used field experiments, meaning the research was conducted in real public locations where people were unaware they were being observed. This allowed the researchers to capture natural behavior rather than artificial lab behavior. Overall, the study found that when anti-littering norms were made more salient, people were significantly less likely to litter. Hypotheses. The researchers proposed several hypotheses, but I'll take on the main three ones. First, they hypothesized that people would be less likely to litter when anti-littering norms were present in the environment. Second, they predicted that salient norms, or norms that are made obvious and noticeable, would have a stronger influence on behavior than norms that are only implied. Third, they expected that observing norm-consistent behavior, such as someone picking up litter, would reduce littering compared to observing norm-violating behavior. Rationales. The reasoning behind these hypotheses is based on social norms theory. Social norms guide behavior by signaling what is considered acceptable or unacceptable in a given situation. According to the researchers, people often look to their surroundings and to others' behavior to determine how they should act. When norms are subtle or unnoticed, they may not influence behavior very strongly. However, when norms are made salient, meaning they capture attention, people are more likely to follow them. Previous research also suggests that people are especially influenced by the behavior of others in public settings, which helps support these hypotheses. Method. To test these ideas, the researchers conducted a series of field experiments in public spaces such as parking lots. The participants were everyday people using these spaces, and they were not aware they were part of a study. The independent variables include environmental cues, such as whether an area was clean or littered, and whether participants observed someone else engaging in norm-consistent or norm-violating behavior. The dependent variable was whether the participant littered. Researchers simply observed and recorded behavior without interacting with participants. Results. The results supported the researchers' hypotheses. Participants were significantly less likely to litter when they were exposed to clear anti-littering norms. Clean environments reduce littering, while seeing someone violate the norm increased littering behavior. The strongest reduction in littering occurred when participants observed non-norm consistent behavior, such as someone picking up litter. This demonstrated that visible behavior had a power effect on social conduct. Overall, the findings suggest that people's behavior is strongly influenced by social norms, especially when those norms are made noticeable. In terms of real-world applications, this research can be used to improve anti-littering campaigns, environmental protection efforts, and public policy strategies by focusing on norm salience rather than punishment alone. Some limitations of the study include the fact that it only measured short-term behavior and was limited to specific public settings. It also did not assess whether these behavior changes lasted over time. In conclusion, this study demonstrates how applied social psychology can be used to understand and improve real-world behavior. By focusing attention on social norms, this research provides practical strategies for reducing littering and encouraging pro-social behavior. Thank you.